welcome to Math 24/7. Today is a 7th grade lesson, lesson 3, surface area of rectangular prisms. All right, so we have Henry and Quinn were asked to find the area of a rectangle and a triangle with the dimensions shown below. Henry says they will have the same area because they have the same base and height. Quinn disagrees. Explain who is correct and justify your reasoning. So if you want to think about it for a second, go ahead and pause the video and think about if they have the same or different. If not, go ahead and keep playing the video, and I'm going to explain it. So we have the area of a rectangle equals base times height. And even though this is 11 and this is 12, so it would be 11 times 12. This one would be base times height as well, because base times height divided by 2. So it would be the whole thing, 11 times 12 divided by 2. So it would actually technically only be half of this. And if you did this, you can see why. Here's the other two triangles here that are the other half of this rectangle. So, not the same size. The triangle is half the distance. All right, so when we're talking about triangular prisms, it consists of exactly 3 rectangular faces and 2 triangular bases, okay? And the bases are parallel and congruent. Remember, parallel means they're opposite of each other, like down here, but they never touch. And they are congruent, meaning they are exactly the same. Remember, congruent is that mathematical term for the word same. So we're going to go ahead and try to find the total surface area of this triangular prism. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, let's do A, B, and C. We can tell that A, B, and C are all a little different because C is the base. This side is 5 and this is 5. So this one is a 5 and these are, a 6. It's the base of the triangle. And this one is 5 and this one is 5. Because this is 9, we know that all of these long ones are 9. So we'll do those first. So a 5 by 9 is A. So a 9 by 5, which equals 45. We have a 9 by 6, which is B. That's with the base side of the triangle, and that is 54. And then we have C, which again is a 9 by 5, which is 45 again. And then we have D and E, which are exactly the same, and we're going to use the base times height divided by 2. So the base, the height they're telling us is 4. The base is 6, so it's 6 times 4 divided by 2. So this one is going to be 12, and this one's going to be 12. So if we add those all up, those are 90 and 104. So we add them all together. Total area of 168 centimeter squared. Next one, we're going to decompose this net into shapes. In this case, we have a triangle that has all 3 sides are the same length. So our 2 shapes are the 3 rectangles and then the 1 or the 2 triangles, the bases, okay? So the formula, let me go back here and erase that. I was really supposed to put the formula in. So really we're going to go formula for this rectangle, I'll put an R, base times height. And over here we have base times height divided by 2. So base times height, these are 6 by 8.5, because here's the long side. These are the rectangles. And the area of the second one, actually if we multiply that out now, we get 51 inches squared. And base 1, base 2, so we have a 6 by 5.2, 6 times 5.2. We're going to divide that by 2. And when we do that, it equals 15.6. But remember, before, okay, once I have those, I have to remember that I have three of the, whoops, I'm on the eraser. 51, 51, and 51, which we know is 153. And then I have 15.2 times 2 is going to be 31.2. So if I do those, 15.6 and 15.6. And when we add those all up together, it is 184.2 centimeters, inches squared. Okay, so don't forget there's 3 of these and 2 of the triangles. I'm going to put the little code beside them. Okay. Next we have a rectangular prism 2. Let's look at the sides first. The height is 4 of the triangle, the base is 6, and the sides are 5. So that's very similar to the last one we did. And now the long side here is 12. So lateral surface area we learned in the last lesson. It just means that they do not touch. So the bases don't touch, and lateral surface does not include the bases. So we're going to find the lateral surface area. So that's basically the area of this piece. So we're going to find just this first. And I have a 6 by 12, and a 12 by 5, and a 12 by 5. Well, 12 by 5 is a 60, and a 60, and a 72, because 6 times 12 is 72. So our lateral surface area is 120. I've added the 60 and 72. So our lateral surface is 192. To find the total, I have to add these 2 bases. So we're also going to talk about that while we're here. So the bases, let me erase this so you can see this here. So the height is 4, it tells us right here, and the base is 6. So it's going to be 6 times 4 divided by 2. But here's a shortcut. There's 2 of them. So instead of cutting them in half and then timesing by 2 again, you can just cancel those out. And we're going to add 24 to that, which is 216 feet squared. Okay? So again, you can do it times 2 and then divide it by 2, but you're going to end up right back where you started. All right, lateral surface area. So again, lateral surface area is just this part. And I want you to notice on this one's 4. This is 5, so that means this side is 5. This side is 3, so it's this side. So base times height, 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. And 9 times 5 is 45. So now I've got those 3 numbers that I have to add up. And when I add them up, I get 108 centimeters squared. But now I have 2 triangles. Now I have to add the bases to this next piece, right? The bases. So the base is 3 and the height is 4. And remember, you know it is because if I now erase that, you can see there's where the right angle forms. So that makes this right here the height. So to add to it, we need 3 times 4 divided by 2, but then we're going to times the whole thing by 2 because I have 2 of them, but guess what? I can cancel those out. 3 times 4 is 12, and if we add those all together, we get 120 centimeters squared. All right, we have number 4. Okay, this one's a little trickier as far as we just got to figure out what we've got. So a carpenter is building a unique jewelry box in the shape of a right triangular prism with the dimensions shown below. How much wood will it take to complete? Well, here we go. Let's do the bases first, okay? It doesn't matter really where you start. But I have 2 of these, and they are 3 by 4. So we have a 3 by 4 divided by 2 times 2 of them. So my 2 bases together, I've done those, are equal to 12. Those are my triangles. I should do this. Okay? Now, I'm going to erase this just so we can see. So now we have this, whoops, this guy right here. Oh, need my marker. And he is I'll do it over here, 3 by 2. Then we have this guy here, so 2, up and down, 2 by 4. So I have a 2 by 4. And then I also have a 2 by 5. And I only have one of each of those. So this is 6, this is 8, this is 10. So we have 14, 24, 25, 26, and plus 10 more. So 36 inches squared is all our pieces together. So rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. This is the 2 triangles, and we add them all together. The next one is how many square centimeters for this chocolate candy cardboard box. So again, same thing. I'm going to start with our triangles again. So triangles here. Here's the height. Here is the base. So the height is down here, but the base is here. So we need a 3 by 2 by 2. I'm sorry, 0.2, not by 2. So that one is going to be a 6 by 6. Let me erase that because that does not look like a 2 by 2. So it's 3 times 2.2 divided by 2 times 2. So our 2 triangular ends, I'm going to put a line right here, equal, well, 3 times 2.2 is 6.6. So our 2 bases. Then our first rectangle on the bottom, we just pick one. This is a 2.2 times 16. Our next rectangular base, I'm going to run out of room here. Okay, is going to be, let's do this side. This is a 16 by 3.2 times 16. And the other side is also 3.2. So we just have 2 of those. Okay. So we're going to add 6.6 and 2.2 times 16 plus 3.2 times 11 times 16 times 2 of them. I have 2 of these rectangles, okay? And if I add them all together, I am going to get 144.2 centimeters squared. And the last one, we are missing a side length. So something here, we got to figure out what that one is. We know each of these are 15. We know that is 8. So we've got to figure out what is the area of everything but that side. So area equals base times height. So it's 408. So let's find out what we do know. So we don't know this part. This is the only part we don't know. This is a 15 by 8. And 15 by 8, that's 40. So that's 120. And then we have this is 6, so that makes this side 6. And this is, nope, sorry. See how important it is to have your side? If this is 15, this is 15, this is 15, so is this. So a 6 by 15. That's 30, so 90. So right now we have 210. We got to add our bases. We have a 6 by 8, and remember we're going to times it by 2, divide it by 2, then times it by 2. So it's really, to get this and this, we do 8 by 6, which is 48. So we have right now 258. So now we have 408. We're going to minus everything we know to figure out what the area of just this one should be. So 258, so that's 0. So that is 5, so that's 150. The really cool thing is they made this come out really easy, okay? So this whole thing, let me erase this now, of this one, when we added everything up and subtracted it from the area, this part is 150. We know it's base times height, so 15 times something equals 150, or we can say 150 divided by 15, x is going to be equal to 10, and it's just 10 centimeters.